guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I am going to be baking a cake for my blood bestie who underwent a major surgery here within the last few days. She is progressing. It's going to be a long road to recovery, but she is progressing well. Thanks be unto the Lord. She has an excellent caregiver in the person of her dear husband, but I am going to assist him in boosting her mood through sweets. Okay, now we all love sweets. They make me smile, and I hope they will make her smile and put her in a great mood. So today I'm going to bake a lemon blueberry ricotta cheese pound cake, and I surely hope that they enjoy it, and I hope that you and your family enjoy it as well. So stick around and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, you guys, here are the ingredients that you are going to need for this cake. 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, okay? This a 1/2 cup, it's equal to 1 stick. So 1 stick of unsalted butter, and I'm using grass-fed butter because that is the only kind of butter that we use when we use butter at all. I have 3 eggs, room temperature. I have 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons added, okay? 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of ricotta cheese. 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, 2½ teaspoons of lemon juice. We've got 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract plus a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Now listen, I combined my vanilla and my almond together. If you don't have almond, that's fine. It's optional. Just go ahead and use 2 full teaspoons of vanilla, okay? I've got 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now to this flour, I added a 1/2 cup of almond flour. Now that's optional. If you don't have any almond flour, just go ahead and use 2 full cups of all-purpose flour. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in this flour, okay? And then we're going to use 1 3/4 cups of blueberries. And these blueberries are coated in flour, okay? They're not coated in sugar. I know some people like to do that. Some people coat in flour and sugar. And sugar is good if your blueberries are kind of tart, but I'm just going to rely on the sweetness of these blueberries and all of the other things together with it, and I've just tossed them in flour. So now with this flour, I want to make mention with this flour here, after you add all of those things to it, the almond flour, the baking powder, and salt, take a whisk and mix everything. Make sure that the salt and the baking powder and everything, make sure it's all incorporated together. Just whisk it around a little bit, make sure it's good, and you're ready to go. So these are your ingredients that you're going to work with, and we are going to put these together and get this cake done, guys. All right, you guys, so I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I've got my mixer ready, but I wanted to show you the pan that I'm using. I am using 9 by 5 inch loaf pan. And if you don't have a loaf pan, this recipe actually calls for a loaf pan, but if you don't have one, go ahead and use your bundt cake pan if that's what you want to use. Just know that it may not, you know, come out as high and pretty as if you were going to do a regular pound cake or a regular cake. So I've taken my 9 by 5 loaf pan and I greased it. I greased the entire pan, the base of the pan, with butter, and then I lined it with parchment paper, okay? Now, if you don't have parchment paper and you are using a loaf pan, don't sweat it. Just go ahead and spray down that pan with a non-stick spray, preferably one that has the flour incorporated in it, And just go ahead and pour it up, put it in the oven and bake it because it's going to be delicious. All right, you guys, so I'm going to follow along with my recipe as I'm doing this with you or on this video. I got this recipe and I failed to mention this. I came across it online the other day and I immediately thought about my sister because she loves lemon. She and her husband both love lemon flavored cakes. So they really love the lemon Oreo pound cake that I made. So hopefully they will enjoy this. So what we're going to do is in our mixing bowl, I'm going to add the butter, sugar, and ricotta cheese, okay? So I'm going to put in my 1 stick of butter. I'm going to add the sugar, okay? I'll put in our sugar. And we are going to add the ricotta cheese. Okay, just like that. Make sure you get all that goodness in there, because I think that ricotta cheese is going to make this thing stand out. It's going to give it a total different flavor, and I cannot wait to try it. So, but I'm going to mix this until it's nice and fluffy. Then I'm going to add my eggs one at a time. Guys, so I have incorporated the ricotta cheese, the butter, and the sugar together, and it is light and fluffy as the recipe calls for it to be. And I'm going to show you the consistency. It's like cream. It is light and fluffy. Okay, maybe that'll focus. I hope it will focus. It is light and fluffy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lower the speed of the mixer from medium down to low, and I'm going to add my eggs one at a time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn on low. All right, I've got my eggs incorporated, guys. I am going to go ahead and add my lemon juice. I'm going to add my vanilla flavoring. This is vanilla and almond, remember? And I'm going to add 1 full tablespoon of lemon zest to this. Okay. Then I'm just going to beat it just for a few minutes, just to combine it, okay? Just to combine it. Okay, I'm gonna spoon in my flour, and I am actually going to use my spatula and fold everything in. I've got a little of that vanilla left in that bowl, and I want all that flavor. I want all that. So I'm just gonna fold this in, take my paddle out. So we're going to fold this in just until everything is mixed. Don't over mix it. Then I'm going to take about 1 1/3 cups of the blueberries. I'm going to reserve 1/4 of a cup, okay? I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Reserve 1/4 of a cup of blueberries. I'm going to fold everything else in. Okay? So I put all of the blueberries in there, except for about 1/4 of a cup, okay? Fold these in just slightly, ever so lightly. You just want to incorporate it in there. You don't want everything over mixed. Now this right here, this part is ready. This is ready for the oven. So, okay, be careful not to over mix. Okay, so I am going to place this now into my prepared pan. So, hold on one second. All right, you guys, I got my pan. Got my mixture here. Mixture is going into the pan. I hope y'all can see that. If not, I apologize. Fold that in here. Okay, make sure you get all of it. This will definitely cook in a bundt pan, guys. If you don't have a loaf pan, this will definitely cook up nicely in a bundt cake pan. So now I'm gonna smooth this out just a little bit in this pan. I can tell it's gonna rise, rise, rise. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up the sides of that paper. I've got more on one side than I do on the other, but that's okay. So, we've got all of the mix in the pan. And now we are going to bake this. I'm gonna tamp it down a little bit to get the air bubbles out of it, guys. Sorry about the jiggling of the camera. Tamp it down, get the air bubbles out so it'll bake up nicely. Sorry. And then I am going to put this in the oven for only 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm going to take this out of the oven and I'm going to add the remaining blueberries atop of the cake, okay? And then we're going to bake it an additional 30 or 40 minutes. So let me slide this into the oven and then I'll come back after 15 minutes and we'll top it. All right, you guys, so the cake has baked in the oven for 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, and let me tell you something, in all my baking days, and there's been a lot of them, I won't say how many, but I have never removed a cake from the oven while it was baking, especially a pound cake, because you know you run the risk of it falling. So I'm topping this cake with the remaining blueberries, and I'm going to return it to the oven, the 350 degree oven, for another 30 to 40 minutes. And I'm gonna check it after 30 to make sure, you know, before I let it go to 40. And I'll come back in about 30 minutes and show you how it's doing. So stand by. I am going to go ahead and mix up the glaze for this cake. In this bowl right here, I have 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. So to this powdered sugar, I'm gonna add, I did add a pinch of salt. I added some kosher salt, guys. Just a pinch, that's optional. I'm gonna add this lemon zest to that. And then I am just going to slowly start adding my lemon juice, because I don't want a runny glaze. I want it to be nice and thick, but I don't want it to be too thick. And I'm just gonna stir it. I'm gonna incorporate it, you guys, until I get it the consistency that I want. And you can just stir it. I would not do this with a hand mixer because it's only just a little bit of glaze that you're putting on the cake. Okay, and you want to make sure the cake is cool before you add this glaze. But you see how it's coming together nicely? And this is how I like mine. I'm making a mess. All right, you guys, so the cake is out of the oven. I actually baked it after I added the blueberries on top. I actually baked it an additional, instead of 30 to 40 minutes, I baked an additional 50 minutes because that's just how my oven wanted to roll. But here it is. I am going to leave it in the pan to cool for about 10 minutes. All right, you guys, so the moment of truth is here. I think that the cake has cooled sufficiently that I am able to go ahead and put some glaze on it. So let's just do that. My glaze is nice and thick. Again, this is how I like mine. You can have yours any way that you like. And I am just going to drizzle it over. Okay. Like that. And hold on, I'm gonna get all mine. Okay. And I'm gonna take this little spatula here and I'm just gonna run it over. Make sure that I've got good coverage. I'm not really worried about the sides, but I definitely want the top to be covered. Oh, y'all, this house smells so good. If Mr. G were here right now, trust me, coming out of the oven, he would have had a fork and no frosting, no glaze is necessary. Just right out of the oven warm, and it would already be on the plate. Okay, so I think that I have covered this sufficiently. I'm just gonna let that do what it does. And voila, guys, that's it. That is it. I don't like a whole lot of glaze, just enough to sweeten. The taste of the cake is fine, you know, without overpowering it. You don't want to have, you know, but there it is, guys. There's the finished product. You see the blueberries on top. Those are the blueberries that we added during the baking. And I know Mr. G is gonna say drizzle some more frosting on there, but that's it, guys. And you know what? All right, guys, it's still warm, and I am going to take a piece. It is cutting beautifully, guys. Look at that. Oh, that looks so good. It looks so good. Look at those juicy blueberries. Let me let you see those blueberries. Nice, nice, nice. And they didn't all just sink to the bottom. So I'm happy for that. I am going to put this over there. Oh, you guys. I got the glaze just right. I am happy with the way that the glaze turned out. It's not too lemony. It's really, really good. And I am going to, ooh, y'all, I wish y'all were here to taste some of this. And it's still kind of warm, but not too warm. Yeah, that's a shame. That don't make no sense. Oh, it's not too lemony, but it's just right. It's got that boom pow. See that? Child. It is nice and moist. I wish I could get that on there like I want it. Look at those blueberries just bursting out of there, y'all. If this were not baking, I guess on a mission of mercy, I would probably just slice this up, put it in a bag or something, a box, and save it for myself. But since it is a mission of mercy for my blood bestie and her husband, I guess I gotta deliver it, huh? Y'all, melts in your mouth. It's delicious. Just look at that. Not dried out. Look at those blueberries. Just look at those blueberries. This thing's gonna focus. Look at those blueberries, guys. Just look at that. That's crazy. It didn't take a long time to prepare. It was very easy. There was not a whole lot of mixing. Actually folded in the dry ingredients, and I guess the key was just not to over-mix it, which I didn't, and it is stanky good. Sorry about chewing on camera, guys. Anyway, that is it for the lemon. Oh, well, you know what? I didn't even mention the fact that I can actually taste the ricotta cheese. It's not, I'm not really sure what ricotta tastes like. I know that sometimes they put it in lasagna. I think they put it in lasagna, but that's not even funky. It's not even cheesy funky. It just gives it a flavor. You can almost taste like a funk on it, but it's sweet and delicious. It is absolutely delicious. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you will make this recipe for your family, for your bestie, better yet, for your blood bestie, and that y'all will enjoy it as much as I hope that my sis will, and her husband. So bye for now, guys. Thanks for coming by. Subscribe to the channel. I'm a little slow on some stuff, but I'm getting there. Okay. Like the video and share it if you are so inclined, and I will see you guys the next time. Remember, guys, there is always a second chance to get some things right. Not only in the garden, but in your life. Y'all have a blessed day. See you soon.